Good afternoon, Arash Akhgari. You are the author of The Other, a Canadian short film. First, I will read the synopsis of the film so our audience can understand a little bit better what you did. We are constantly in conversation with the other, either symbolically or literally. In the process of responding to the symbolic other, it is hard to tell if the response is to the subject or our own projection. Your film is a metaphor. I see it as a metaphor.
Yes.
It takes place, I mean, it doesn't have an exact precise location. It's like universal, it's timeless. But also I see it as a comment on today's world.
Yes.
Is it something that do you agree with that?
Yes, no, definitely. I mean, like, it's actually like the whole idea started from like, you know, it's like a metaphor of the human relationship with each other and the way that, you know, we proceed like this relationship with, you know, the other, and you know, the act of communication in between, you know, you and me, or, you know, me and, you know, my friend or my partner, or, you know, people in my society. So yeah, so it was like a big metaphor of, you know, like, you know, that relation. Yeah,
but it's also, I see it as a metaphor between people, but also like it could be also political, no?
Yes, like the position of the power, you know, the way that, you know, we are actually in response to the society, to the government, to, you know, the whole, like, you know, the basically, like, you know, the responses that we get from, you know, the political, you know, situation, and, you know, our response to that. So that conversation also. Yeah.
What is the medium in the film?
So I use like ink on glass. So it's like an under camera film, which I did like in you know, my home studio. So yeah, so it's like ink on glass, frame by frame. Yeah.
Okay, so this is okay. I understand. So it has the technique, the medium has the possibility to give you metamorphosis and work on a single image.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, in the same time, I was actually like in some frames, I would actually like sketch like one figure. I erase everything by like a you know, like a wet cloth, and then, you know, redo everything, you know, and frame by frame. But also, like, you know, the fluidity of the material helped me with, like, you know, transferring that, you know, that message that I wanted to have in the fluidity of, you know, that relation, right? I mean, like, between the box and the characters, you know, and the...
Yes. Also, if I remember well, you have, I think that there are blacks in the film, black color,
yeah,
red color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you decide to have such limited palette? I would say.
Yeah. No, I guess, like, I mean, like, that actually like comes from like the abstraction that it's actually coming from maybe the body of work which I work on, which actually like it was usually like black and white representation of the figures, just maybe for the aesthetic reasons. But for this specific project, I started to explore like adding a color just to add into the expression of each character, or like, you know, the feeling, and, you know, some like, you know, behind the scene, you know, stuff which is happening for each character, which was actually like quite interesting for me. And I would actually explore it more maybe in the next project. But I mean, like that reddish color came from like some exploration during the process. So I was not intended to have that in the beginning. So I started because it's an experimental work, and you experiment on the way, so everything changes on the way.
Yes, your film is very close to abstraction, but it's also figurative. It's like halfway. Do you have a precise storyboard at the beginning, or do you improvise
Right.
and see what works and what doesn't work after and do editing?
Yeah, actually, I had both. So I mean, like I started like with the storyboard maybe for the first like 30 seconds. I mean, like maybe I would say I had a storyboard for 10 seconds, which I started to expand to like the first 30 seconds of the film. But the thing is, for me, like, this work and like also like all of my previous works, for me, it's like very much like, writing a poem that you start with a reference, but you keep like, building up, and you start to surprise yourself even because I don't have, the overall image. And it's like a big puzzle, it's like a big, puzzle for me to solve. So that's actually like the interesting part, that I started with an idea, and then everything, starts to rise, and, so yeah, so it was like the process was very like kind of like improvising upon like around one idea.
It's funny because you use the word poem.
Yeah.
I remember when I watched the film, it was this summer. I liked the film a lot, and
Thank you.
there was I had I was moved, really
Thank
moved. And I didn't know if it was because of the painterly style or the metaphor, but I didn't think of that poem. Right. And I think it's very, very accurate. Your film is like a poem, a beautiful poem.
Thank you very much. Actually, that's a big compliment, and I am happy that you are saying it, because actually, like, I'm looking at each work in this way because that's the way that I like to approach each work, because it's actually like creates something that is beyond like let's say text or composition or like thinking. So it's like kind of like it's beyond the realm of language, I would say. So it passes this, it overpasses the linguistic way of thinking, right? So yeah, so I'm happy that it was actually like successful in transferring that,
Yeah, and also in your film is short. It's 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think it's, for me, I think it's perfect.
Okay.
Did you would you have liked to make it longer, or is it?
No, actually, no. But no, I mean, like the thing is actually like I wanted to keep it like short because I actually like kind of for me, I want the viewer to have an experience, within like a short duration of time. But I want the work to live in audience mind after. So what is important for me is that the experience while you are watching it, also the experience of you after watching a piece. I think actually like three to 4 or 5 minutes long is the perfect length to not to not be too long for you to forget the experience, and not be too short for you to say what just happened, right?
Yeah, I agree. You won the École NAD award at our festival 2 years ago for Out of Touch.
Yeah.
Was it your graduation film?
No, it was actually like it was I think my second year film.
Okay, so you finished. You graduated from Concordia last year.
Yeah, actually, like I was not able to. I mean, like I was not able to continue after a while. So I stopped actually like studying for some like private things which is which was happening in life. But yeah, so I mean, like I was actually like a part-time student back in
Okay.
days, and I stopped like it was last year, like end
Okay.
of 2000. Yeah.
Okay, so the other is your first professional
Yeah.
independent film. So how did it go? Was it a challenge
It was
to?
actually like quite a challenge
Yeah.
because I mean, like, you know, especially like, you know, because being in a school, like especially in Concordia, was amazing in the way that you have like these great resources of, you know, teachers, you know, the feedback, you know, the everything, and also the discipline, right? I mean, like the discipline of, you know, sitting down and work, and then, you know, so I mean, like being apart from that, you know, lively environment was quite a challenge, but it was also quite interesting because it's like it's like a challenge of growth, right? I mean, like so I feel that now I'm ready to do more, right? So it was like an exam for myself, you know, to see like how much I can do on my own, you know. But actually, like I'm still in touch with like you know, the teachers in Concordia, and I you know I keep like sending them, you know, my work for feedback, you know, out of like the like as a friend, which is very nice. So that was like the whole experience was quite interesting and nice, but also like being like independent is also pretty exciting to start.
Are you also a painter?
Yeah, I actually like my background is painting. Actually, like I'm painting for the past almost 20 years now, and I come from like, you know, the traditional, you know, the drawing, you know, and like, you know, oil painting and stuff. But I was always interested in like moving imagery, I would say, and I started to explore that only in Montreal, like back in, I think like it was like 6 years ago, like 6 or 7 years ago, which I started to explore like, you know, this medium, which I try to keep the painterly aspect of, you know, my skills in the work. So
Yeah, it's obvious. Yeah, we can feel that. Yeah.
Thanks. Great. Yeah. So
okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, actually.
Arash, for taking the time to talk to us. I mean, you're not too far from the Cinematheque, so maybe we'll meet during springtime. Let's see. Yes. Otherwise, stay safe.
Same for you.
I wish you the best of luck on that film. And well, thanks for the discussion.
Yeah, actually, thank you for your time and like putting everything together. It's a very hard work that you are doing, and we as like the filmmakers, we need you, you know, to support us. So it's like a very hard one experience to, you know, be the part of that.
It's very kind of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.